Resolved that upon the recommendation of the super, the Board of Ed accepts and approves the agenda with any additions or deletions. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nay, okay. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion fails. 3 ayes, 1 nay. Mr. Obaid, what are you worried about on the agenda?
Especially in the consent agenda,
Yes.
regarding the regular meetings and the special meeting, I was not there, so.
You weren't there, but you don't want to approve the minutes? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. That's my concern.
What's the concern? Are the minutes inaccurate to you?
I wasn't there, I don't know what's happening.
Okay, then we can make the special meeting agenda on its own. A standalone resolution, will that help?
But how?
Okay, so we'll start over. Resolution number 1, acceptance of agenda. Do I have a motion? I heard head one.
Second.
And Commissioner motion by head one, seconded by Gahame. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the super, the Board of Ed accepts and approves the agenda with any additions or deletions. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion passes 4 ayes, 3 absent. And we're going to add approval of minutes from special meeting agenda as resolution number 16, okay?
And then the regular meeting, please.
The regular meeting,
On 8,
you want to do each meeting one by one?
you can include them both, and then I will vote.
So the regular meeting minutes from March 8th and then the special meeting minutes from March 21st?
Yes,
Okay, that's what you're asking to be pulled.
yes, thank you.
So resolution number 16 will be for the approval of the regular meeting minutes. 3-8, and then resolution number 17, acceptance of special meeting minutes, 3/21. Okay. Any other additions or deletions? All right, perfect. Let's move along. So we have board calendar updates. So our May COW is going to be a study session. It's going to be Wednesday, May 24th at 6. Please come prepared. We're going to do more budget discussions as well as, no, actually it's going to be most of,
That was canceled.
no, this is May, not June. Yeah. May, what did I say? Oh, I'm sorry, clarity. The May Committee of the Whole is Wednesday, May 24th at 6 p.m. and it's a study session because we moved our budget hearing to Wednesday, June 14th, which is the same time as our regular meeting, because the DCFC has scheduled a game on Wednesday, June 28th. Ms. Ahmed will get clarity for us on whether or not they did this before or after they got our schedule, because past board members explained that part of the deal was DCFC would not schedule games during our board meeting dates. So she will get that update for us. July meetings are canceled per usual. And then the other thing that's on our calendars, but it's optional, is commencement. Who plans on being there? I understand it falls on a Friday and people are busy, so completely understand if you can't make it. But Ms. McMurray did send out a calendar invite. If you have an RSVP, please do, so that high school can plan accordingly for seats on the stage. Any questions?
Can you explain why we canceled the COVID and then the July meeting?
July meetings have always been canceled, so
Okay.
we're keeping that tradition. And then the June COW, so the day for the June COW is the 4th Wednesday. DCFC has a game that day.
Okay,
Understood?
yes.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, board member discussion. Do we have any?
I do.
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to wish all the teachers happy Teacher Appreciation Week. It's
Oh,
also-
it is.
It's also Nurses Week, so it always falls on the same time.
It's also Employee Appreciation Week. They just threw all the work weeks at once.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else for board member discussion?
Yes, happy, appreciated to your teacher, and thank you for all the work that they have done. You know, we wish as a board, always at this time, you know, send a letter to all the staff, our teachers, you know, to thank them for what they are doing.
Awesome, thank you.
Right.
Anyone?
Same thing. First, as a parent, a resident, and a
Yeah.
board member now, I truly and greatly appreciate all their hard work, dedication, and passion that they bring for our kids and day on the day.
Thank you so much. Well, on behalf of the board, happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Sorry, whose mic is it? Mine's is off.
Mine's on.
And turn off that one if it's on. I think we're getting a lot of feedback.
It is.
There you go.
So, okay. There it is, okay. On behalf of the Board of Education, happy Teacher Appreciation Week, happy Nurse Appreciation Week to our school nurse, and happy Employment Appreciation Week to all staff at HPS. Thank you. Correspondences. You figured out which one had feedback?
No, which one?
We turned off 2 of them, I'm not sure.
Turn off
We turned off 2, mine's not. So, okay. Any other board member discussion? All right,
Do we have the old, is this still, we have the old in the end?
sorry, say it again?
Do you still have the discussion in the end?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Has there been any updates regarding speed bumps here in Kira Stadium and about DCFC privacy fence that they're supposed to put up? And
Oh, Ms. Ahmed, can you follow up with, because you're also following up about the games, can you also follow up about that and get us an update?
We'll have that for you for the count.
Okay, for the count. Awesome. All right, next up, we have a correspondence from Wayne Risa. It's a Board of Education resolution. Ms. Hall's not here, so would anyone else like to read it, or I'll do it? All right. So from the Wayne County Regional Education, Wayne Risa, with the Regional Education Service Agency, it is National Teacher Appreciation Week. So whereas our country's future depends upon providing quality education to all students, and whereas teachers/educators continue to adapt and find ways to unlock students' limitless potential by supporting them to become well-rounded and academically prepared to achieve excellence, and whereas teachers care about their students' social and emotional well-being and impart them with skills needed in the areas of self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, responsible decision-making, critical thinking, and resilience. And whereas teachers are vital in their communities and in building the future through their dedicated efforts to ensure all children obtain the knowledge and skills needed to be successful in college, careers, and life. And whereas because of the increasing diversity of needs for our students, teachers must consistently increase their learning to adapt to meet the ever-changing needs of all students and spend valuable time and effort preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling and coaching students, providing support as role models, motivators, and mentors. And whereas our teachers have an impressive commitment to the youth of Wayne County, helping to make a productive difference in their lives and educational experience, now therefore be it resolved that the Wayne Risa Board of Education does hereby proclaim May 8th to the 12th of 2023 as Teacher Appreciation Week at Wayne County Schools, and urges all citizens to pay tribute to our public school teachers and take time to recognize and acknowledge the impact the teachers have in our lives. This resolution was presented and adopted on the 19th day of April 2023, honoring teachers and recognizing their lasting contributions they make to our communities. So thank you to Wayne Risa for acknowledgement of Teacher Appreciation Week. Now we're moving into student presentations for the MDOT Design Build Challenge. Do we have our lovely students here with us?
Ms. Horn, Leanne Horn in the audience.
Leanne Horn,
Mr. David Preston.
David Preston,
Okay.
that's okay, you follow with them. If they come back, we'd be happy to take their presentation when they get here, if they get here.
Okay, let me just give you a little bit of background.
Yes.
So last month, 3 Hamtramck high school students were selected to compete in the Michigan Department of Transportation in the MDOT Challenge. The students are Farhana Begum, Oday Param, and Nazma Begum. So the Design and Build Bridge Challenge is part of the MDOT Transportation and Civil Engineering program, which is developed to introduce students to a variety of career opportunities available in the engineering field. The competition allows Michigan high school students to be recognized for their skills and showcase their work to a statewide audience. This event was open to all 9th and 10th grade students, but only accepted 20 teams from the entire state of Michigan.
Way to go, Hamtramck High School.
So the Hamtramck High School team, proudly known as Cosmos Builders, attended the statewide competition at the Lansing Center on April 27th. We are proud of them and appreciate the dedication, commitment, and leadership of our teaching team, Leanne Horn and David Preston.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations to those students for presenting at the conference, was it? Student presentation. If they do show up, we'll happily take their presentation. Next up, consent agenda, resolution number 2, for Ferris and Watson. We are moving approval of minutes 1 and 2 as standalone resolutions for your awareness. So do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard head one, do I have a second?
Second.
I heard Elgin. Okay. Approval of the consented agenda items, motion by head one, second by Haim. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the super, the Board of Ed approves the following items under the consent agenda. Again, for Watson and Ferris, we moved 1 and 2 under approval of minutes as their own standalones. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Can I ask questions?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Did we do exit for these people who are leaving? And, how are we gonna replace these people that are leaving? Is this something we can discuss now, or maybe?
Not during the consent.
Okay,
Consent
sorry.
is just approval. Okay, thank you. So, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Nay. I have 1 nay and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ayes. Okay, resolution passes, 5 ayes, 1 nay, 1 absent. Yeah, so discussion typically doesn't happen with the consent because it's just standard stuff, but if you ever want to have discussion, we can do it later.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you. Next up, audience participation. So this portion of the agenda is for citizens to address agenda items only to the board. The board will listen, take comments and questions under advisement and not respond at this time. The presiding officer will refer questions to the superintendent for research and response. Persons wishing to address the Board of Ed must complete an honest participation form and submit it to the board president before the meeting starts. Forms must be filled out completely. All right, first up, we have Risa Comer with agenda item, she said page 7. So come on up. Oh.
Daddy's turn this on?
Is it on?
I don't think so. Does she need a little more something? Oh, I don't see any yet. Oh, there we go. Are we good? Everybody here okay? Okay, excellent. I have to be the first one all the time, so. All right, good evening. I am Therese Comer. I'm here to talk about agenda items HIJKLMNOPQ. Why so many resignations again? Part of the reason might be because of a rant of one of the board members who claimed that some teacher somewhere in this district would not stay after school 5 minutes to put a child on the bus due to their contracted hours, allegedly. But if you've got receipts, let me know. Also, that same board member, after listening to several paraprofessionals talk about trying to get a living wage, told the teachers if we don't like it, we could leave. Looking at page 7 of the agenda, more than a few people took you up on your offer. We were already short-staffed, especially in the special education department, and you already have, I guess, 2 or 3 ASD rooms with no certified teachers, and now you've lost one at the high school. You are all acting like it's 2009, and staff and teaching positions are hard to come by. Let me tell you that they really aren't. Who's doing the federal grant specialist until you can get someone on the friends and family plan? Who's going to be with the who's going to be the 6th or 7th curriculum director just since I've been here in 2009? Finally, what do these people say in their exit interviews? What is the reason that some people leave within a week or a month from being hired? In closing, if you do not realize that this is too many people quitting at one time for a district this small, I'm letting you know it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Tony Coral for resignation. Come on up.
My name is Tony Coral. I'm president of Hamtramck Federation of Teachers. 10 resignations, 1 retirement on the agenda tonight. Several wrote letters that clearly point to issues that should be of grave concern to the board and to leadership. Of course, the last time this happened, several people wrote letters that told the board and leadership what was wrong, to no avail. According to letters, will we continue to hear about school board members meeting privately with people in interim leadership positions? Will we ever see the results of an investigation into alleged allegations of inappropriate conduct by someone on leave since October 2022? Are we okay with vacancies in the middle of school year? Completely avoidable if leadership and the board actually believe the words in their teacher appreciation statements? Students all pay for the adult dysregulation and dysfunction. The tone is set by the people sitting in front of me. What are you going to do before it gets worse? I'll tell you what won't work. Repeating the mistakes from the past. Listen to what the people have told you.
Thank you. Resolution number 3, approval of field trip. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Headland. Seconded by Obey. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the request of William Albert to take approximately 30 students to Sutton Bay Inland Seas, May 31st to June 1st, so fun weekend. Students will participate in a set of ship-based research activities. Do we have any discussion? It's more than one chaperone for 30 kids, correct?
Yes.
Okay, how many? What's the ratio to teacher to student?
I don't have that information with me right now. I could provide that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Let me see. Is the
Bill, are you
teacher-
in the office? I mean, in the audience?
He was supposed to be here.
That's fine. Does anyone have any questions?
We just want to make sure there's more chaperones. That's about it.
Yeah, there are definitely more. I just don't know how many
Okay.
more, but there are more. 30 kids to one person is a lot. All right, we'll do a roll call for this one. How do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Gaham?
Aye.
Headwan?
Nay.
Oh, hang on, threw me off. Obey?
Aye.
Ferris?
Aye.
And Ayash, aye. Resolution passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why can't I count today? 5 ayes, 1 nay, 1 absent. Thank you. Mr. Headland, would you like to leave a comment on your name?
No, I don't.
Thank you. All right, resolution number 4, approval of purchase. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Headwan. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Gaham. Motion by Headwan, seconded by Gaham. Resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby approve the purchase of 670 Chromebooks and licenses for CE computer products for DE Elementary. Total amount not to exceed $218,714.80. Purchase funded through Title I funds. Do we have any discussion?
Yeah, when was the last time we purchased some for the cities?
When we last time purchased computers, you said?
Yeah.
Ms. Ahmed, do you have something to answer?
No, I do not. Is Mark available?
Before COVID.
Like 2020?
The K through second grade got it, and then they were all dispersed, so,
Thank you.
sorry.
Any other discussion? All right. How do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Gaham?
Aye.
Ferris?
Aye.
Obeyed?
Aye.
Headwan?
Aye.
Ayash, aye. Resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Hope those computers help, because it's 2023. Resolution number 5, approval of purchase. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Headwan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Gaham. Okay, motion by Headwan, seconded by Gaham. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the purchase of 360 image learning licenses for students in grades K-6, along with professional development webinar training for staff. Total amount not to exceed $43,950. Purchase funded through Section 41 carryover. Ms. Lyman, can you explain what this funding source is?
Section 41 is the state funding for bilingual education,
Oh, so these are bilingual programs?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, how do you vote, Ferris? I'm sorry. Obey?
Aye.
Headwan?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Gaham?
Aye.
Ayash, aye. Resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absence. Resolution number 6, approval of purchase. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Ferris. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Watson. Motion by Ferris, seconded by Watson. Resolved the Board of Ed does hereby approve the purchase of 150 Chromebooks and licenses from Sehi Computer Products, Inc. for DW Elementary. Total amount of $41,397. No.
97.
I know. Total amount of $41,397. Thank you. Purchase funded through Title I funds. Do we have any discussion?
I do.
What's up?
Why are we getting enough for DW? Because it's a big difference from 218,000 for DE. I mean, does DW already have some that they just ordered? Or?
So I think the buildings submit the justification to Sherry's office, and then we get it as a board. So I'm assuming that they knew what they needed for their building, but if someone's from DW, we'd be happy to hear from you.
Well, before anyone, so the first one, it was 670 licenses.
Yes.
And
Right.
this is
150.
150.
Right.
Right, but I'm
So-
saying is, Is there in the near future that DW might need more, and because wouldn't it be cheaper to order bulk than have to order multiple times throughout the year?
The reason that we understand is because that's all we had, that the budget would allow.
So why is there a big difference in budgets for DW and DE? Isn't there the same amount of students?
Deployments?
Based on the
Size.
enrollment.
Right.
Now, Dickinson East has more students than Dickinson West.
Okay.
I'm not sure, are they replenishing or are they providing all new technology to make it one-to-one? Ms. Taylor, would you happen to know for Dickinson East?
So Dickinson East, my understanding is everything was provided by the district, and none of it is personally our building. So we wanted to use our title funds to make sure that we have Chromebooks that can stay in the classroom.
Okay.
That way kids don't have to take them back and forth and they get broken.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was submitted, if you go in your drive,
Yeah.
these purchases were approved by our Director of Finance and our Curriculum Director, as well as the DW Principal. So I'm guessing they have more insight on those numbers.
Okay.
But if you want more clarity for future purchases, we can get that well in advance.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, how do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Ferris? Obaid?
Aye.
Gahan?
Aye.
Hedwin?
Aye.
Aye, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Resolution number 7, approval of summer school at DE Elementary. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
Hedwin, do I have a second?
Second.
Gahan. Motion by Hedwin, seconded by Gahan. Result of the Board of Ed does hereby approve the summer school program at DE Elementary School as follows, from July 10th to August 3rd. And then there's a schedule based on that, and they're hiring 1 site coordinator and 2 paras. Do we have any discussion? All right, how do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Ferris? Obaid?
Aye.
Gahan?
Aye.
Hedwin?
Aye.
Aye, Ash? Oh, that's me. Aye. 6 ayes, 1 absent. All right. Resolution number 8, approval of summer school for Tau Beta. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Hedwin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Hedwin, seconded by Gahan. Result of the Board of Ed does hereby approve a summer school program for Tau Beta to be held at DE Elementary as follows. There's the dates, and they're hiring 6 teachers, 1 para. For our clarity, Ms. Ahmed, are all these summer programs for elementary intentionally at DE?
We're looking at having all of them there, yes.
Okay, so this is not at your, okay, yeah. So the campus for summer school would be DE. Do we have any additional discussion?
Yes, is there construction will be affecting these schedules in all our buildings?
The other buildings, yes, that's why we're trying to have a centralized location at Dickinson East.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All right.
Will there be transportation?
Yes.
Okay.
Students will have to be picked up from their home school. So if their home school is Holbrook, the transportation will pick them up there and then transport them to Dickinson East.
So it's gonna be school to school?
It'll pick them up, so instead of picking them up at their residential home, students have to gather at their home school, and then transportation will pick them up from there and take them to Dickinson East. For the middle and the high school, our centralized location is going to be the Hamtramck High School building.
But what I'm asking is, it's gonna be from school to school, the bus?
Yes.
Yes,
It's not gonna be like how is now, is they have stations around the city?
correct, school.
Awesome. Anyone else? All right, how do you vote? Oh, sorry, go ahead. Thank you.
I think it defeats the point. It might be better to keep them where they're located, where they usually get picked up. Because if you're gonna walk to that school, what's the point of taking an extra mile to, extra few blocks?
Could we do residential ones for folks that are further from their home?
No, residents, we can do the same how we do.
Just keep it the
up
same, the way
Oh,
it
you're
is.
talking about like on the corner of so-and-so, these?
Yes.
Oh.
They're local, they have stations
Right.
or what are they?
I should just say pickups,
Designated,
but-
Designated.
Yes,
Instead
yeah.
of, because going to a school and then move to the other one,
Mhm.
some people they are far, that's
From
why
their
they're using
home
the
Okay.
bus.
Yeah, it's better to just keep it as is.
Can you make that? can you
Okay,
consider
I'll
that?
share that with transportation and
Thank you.
and see.
Okay. Well, it's not in the resolution, so we'll follow up on it, but good points. Any other discussion?
That's it.
All right, how do you vote, Watson?
Do we have to
Aye.
do a roll call for every?
For votes like these, I'm just gonna go one by one. Watson?
Aye.
Ferris? Obey?
Aye.
Hedwin?
Aye.
Gahan?
Aye.
Aye, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Just because it's not a consent, I'd rather just go one by one. All right, resolution number 9, approval of summer school for Holbrook Elementary. Do I have Hedwin?
Second.
Seconded by Gahan. Resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby approve the summer school program for Holbrook Elementary held at DE as follows, same with their dates. They're hiring 9 teachers, 3 paras, 1 site coordinator. And students will be invited based on MTSS and bottom 20% of grade level on iReady as well as teacher recommendations. Do we have any discussion? All right, how do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Gahane?
Aye.
Hedwon?
Aye.
Obey?
Aye.
Ferris?
Alright.
Aye, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Resolution, oh, D, okay. Resolution number 10, approval of summer school for DW Elementary.
Motion.
Okay, yep, motion, okay, I heard Hedwon, who was my second?
Victor.
Ferris, thank you. Motion by Hedwon, seconded by Ferris, resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby approve a summer school program at DW Elementary School as follows. Now, is the DW one going to be at DW?
The principal would like to use the portables, but again, we have to check with the architect team and see whether or not the noise and air quality will affect the learning. If it does, I would prefer everyone to be at the centralized location at Dickinson East.
Okay, so you'll give us the update on the location. Dates are to be determined pending the location. Same thing, they want to hire 5 teachers, 1 site coordinator, 2 paras. Do we have any discussion? All right, how do you vote, Ferris?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Obey?
Aye.
Gahane?
Aye.
Hedwon?
Aye.
Aye, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Resolution number 11, approval of summer program for KMS. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Hedwon?
Second.
Gahane? Resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby approve a summer school program at KMS as follows. So this one will be on the KMS campus, even in construction, from June 26th to July 31st. 3 teachers, 1 para, and summer school supplies and field trips. Do we have a discussion?
So we said there is a construction in KMS?
I believe so. Can you confirm? The
Yes.
whole, remember the thing y'all voted on? With the-
Yes.
Yeah.
So that will be
They're
on
gonna be
Feb-
working on the foundation, so right now, they started the preparation work, so they're trying to be mindful about the air quality and the noise, but once we get into summer, it's going to be much more than it currently is, and it may affect the learning environment. So
Okay,
we just wanna be safe.
thank you. Additional questions? All right, how do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Gahane?
Aye.
Hedwon?
Aye.
Obey?
Aye.
Ferris? And Aye, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Resolution 12, approval of a summer school program at Horizon High School. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Hedwon?
I'll
Second.
second.
I heard Watson first.
Go ahead.
Motion by Hedwon, seconded by Watson. Resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby approve a summer school program at Horizon with those dates, with 4 teachers, 1 site coordinators, 2 paras. Do we have discussion? All right, how do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Ferris? Obeyed?
Aye.
Gahane?
Aye.
Hedwon?
Aye.
And aye, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Resolution number 13, approval of summer school for the Hamtramck High School. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Hedwon.
I'll second.
I heard Watson. Motion by Hedwon, second by Watson. Resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby approve a summer school program at HHS as follows. Again, those dates for credit recovery, the recapture program, and the summer supplemental program coordinator. Do we have any discussion?
Give me a second. I have a question here. At Dixon, they have 9 teachers and here they have 8 teachers. Is it because of the number of the students attending to the summer school?
Whatever the grant is, whatever was allowable in the grant, they calculated and took into account the number of students, the number of staffing, and that's basically how they configured that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? All right, how do you vote, Hedwon?
Aye.
Obey?
Aye.
Ferris?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Gahane?
Aye.
And aye, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. This one's gonna be long. But resolution number 14, Sinking Village Fund, do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Hedwon.
Second.
And I heard Gahane. Resolved that the board, sorry, hang on. Let me read this exactly. All right, resolution 14, Sinking Village Fund, motion by Hedwon, seconded by Gahane. Be it resolved by the Board of Education of the School District of the City of Hamtramck, Wayne County, Michigan as follows. The school district is a school district operating under Act Number 451 of Public Acts of Michigan, 1976 as amended. It is necessary and expedient to improve the school district facilities as described in the sinking fund ballot proposition set forth in paragraph 3 to this resolution to finance all or part of the cost, thereby levying a millage against all taxable properties in the school district in the amount and for the period of time set forth in such proposition, and to submit a proposition relative thereto to the electors as hereinafter provided. The following sinking fund ballot proposition shall be submitted to the electors of the school district at the regular election for Tuesday, the 8th of August, 2023. And the ballot language is going to read this. So shall the school district of Hamtramck, well, y'all can read it. So this is the sinking fund ballot proposition. And the Secretary of the Board of Ed is hereby directed to do all things necessary to provide for the sinking fund ballot prop to be voted upon by the electors of the school district on the election date, including, among other things, certifying that the ballot question language of the sinking fund ballot prop to the school district election coordinator no later than 4 p.m. on May 16th. So she has time to do that, which is the 12th Tuesday before the election date in accordance with Michigan Election Law Act 116, Public Acts of Michigan 1954 as amended. All resolutions and parts of resolution insofar as they may be in conflict herewith are hereby rescinded. Do we have any discussion?
Yes. I know it's a renewal,
Renewal, yes.
millage, and we should be prepared before and campaign for it, because as of experience of us last millage that we did, we lost because we didn't have no plan, we didn't have no.
I think this is for like the November meeting, voting.
It's going to August, and if it didn't pass, it was gonna go to November.
Yeah.
So, we should be prepared on these things, because these funds, if we lose it, we're gonna lose a lot of funds.
Yes.
So, and we live in this hard city to give back. So we should be prepared before and more into these things.
Thank you for that. Ms. Ahmed, if you have a campaign team, can Mr. Obey join it?
Absolutely.
Would you be comfortable with that, Mr. Obey?
If I'm available, yes.
Thank you. Okay. Then yeah, share information of campaign events with the board, and whoever can contribute. I know we'll probably see you, Ms. Watson, working the polls, right? So
I'll be
she'll
contributing in another way, wearing no hats.
Got it. Okay, so for sure, I think all of us can get the word out in our own
Yeah.
perspectives, and if there's campaign efforts,
We
please share
just
it
need
with
to
them.
make sure that the community knows this is not gonna increase their taxes, it's keeping it
That's
the
the key
same.
thing,
And
yeah.
have it sent out in all languages, because we don't want false information being spread
Yes.
like it did last time, that's why we failed.
Thank you. Any-
So the city clerk publishes, like, all the ballots and
Yep.
things like, in all three languages, in English and in Arabic and in Bengali.
And I
So-
believe Bangla's covered under the federal grant?
And so we should, we should probably, we should mirror that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Perfect. Any other discussion? All right, how do you vote, Watson?
Do we
Aye.
motion on it?
Oh, yeah, we did, had one in game.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. How do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Ferris? Had one.
Alright,
Obey.
Aye.
Geheim.
Aye.
And I, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. So we did give Ms. Hall authority to follow through with Ms. Ahmed, and she has until the 16th, so thank you. All right, resolution number 15, the Wayne Risa budget approval. Do I have a motion?
motion.
I heard had one,
Second.
and I heard Geheim. Resolve that, oh my God, I hate to wear his name. Resolution 15, Wayne Risa budget approval, motion by Head 1, seconded by Geheim. Whereas this board received the Wayne Risa general fund operating budget on or before May 1st of 2022, and whereas in accordance with the section 380.624 of the revised school code, this board must now adopt a resolution expressing its support or disapproval of the proposed Wayne Risa budget, and must submit to the Wayne Risa board any specific objections and or proposed changes to the board may have to the budget prior to June 1st of, oh, the dates are wrong. Sorry, corrections, y'all. On or before May 1st of 2023. Ms. McBride, can you confirm that that's the correct date for this year?
Mhm.
And then, all that stuff prior to June 1st of 2023. Therefore, be resolved that you must check one of the options. So for the new board members, Wayne Risa is the ISD that operates all of the schools within Wayne County, like, I'm explaining that correctly. It's an ISD that we can get resources from. They have their own budget, and we got it, and we were able to review it. And we can either go first option, which is we approve their budget as they present it to us, or if we have issues with their budget, we provide a specific write-up on what we're concerned about. It's a standard budget. Mr. Obaid and Mr. Hedwan, have y'all ever had to amend it in the past?
No.
Yeah, so it's their budget, we do get resources from them. Our old curriculum director, Carol Paul, used to work with us, now works at Wayne Risa. and we work with her to get resources. But if you have any questions about it or would like to amend it, we do it on this vote. And it's renewed yearly, so if this year you look at it after the fact and want to edit it next year, we absolutely have that right as well. But this is just a yearly renewal on every board under the Wayne ISD. Wayne County ISD approves it, if they want to, or edit it, if they want to.
And you each have a booklet which is specifically for Hamtramck Public Schools, and it lays out how much of the ISD budget is allocated for Hamtramck Public Schools. So the services that they've been providing for us.
And then I believe Ms. McBriar uploaded the actual budget in our drive for us. But if there's any discussion now, we can do it right now, because this is where the vote happens. All right, I hear none. We would be voting then we'd be voting with option 1, the Wayne Risa General Fund Operating Budget for 22-23 school year be supported, and that the Secretary of the Board is hereby directed to submit a copy of this resolution to the Secretary of Wayne Risa Board of Ed, along with comments. Do we have any comments before we vote? All right, how do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Gahame?
Aye.
Ferris? Obey.
Aye.
Headline. And I, resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. All right, now resolution number 16 is approval of the regular meeting minutes for 3/8. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard headline. Do I have a second?
Second.
Gahame, okay. Resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves the meeting minutes from regular meeting of March 8th. Do we have any discussion?
I explained myself.
I'm saying, are you worried about the notes? Because they're accurate from what I can read.
Yeah, but I was not involved.
But you can watch.
I would be safe to just not vote on it.
You said not vote on it, or?
Not vote on yes.
I think I understand what you mean, but it's either you vote no or you.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote.
Oh, okay, I see, because I was like,
Yes.
unless there's a conflict of interest.
No.
Okay, all right, so this is the standard meeting minutes. I can give everyone a couple minutes to look it over.
Is the motion included both of them?
Motion, nope, resolution 16, because in case you had two separate feelings. For regular meeting minutes, they look, you were here, Mr. Obaid, for that meeting.
You sure?
Yeah. The only absent members for the March 8th meeting were Headland and Watson at the beginning, and I think Watson showed up.
You did the special meeting?
I'm looking at the regular meeting first. So you were present at that meeting.
Okay.
We had the drama club presentation, remember?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the votes are accurate. We correct, yep. Yep, about, yes, okay. We had Holbrook Elementary present, and Mr. Spade played the music. Is this ringing a bell?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, the only absent member when we started doing our votes was Headland. I believe he had work that night.
No, I was out the country.
Oh, sorry. But, okay, Mr. Headland was not available, but everyone else was here.
Yes, okay, I'll
Okay.
take it.
Yeah, now you're making me check, I wanna make sure. Yep, we documented all of public comment and additional board discussion. Yep, it's all here. Okay, so the meeting minutes are accurate, I just wanna make sure, so.
Okay.
But we're still gonna do a roll call vote. How do you vote, Watson? Gahame?
Aye.
Ferris?
Aye.
Obey?
Aye.
Hadwan?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution passes 6 ayes, 1 absent.
Then it's the special meeting. I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, it's okay. Resolution number 17, approval of special meeting minutes for March 24th. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard Ferris. Do I have a second?
Second.
Gahame? Motion by Ferris, seconded by Gahame. Resolved the Board of Education does hereby approve the meeting minutes for the special meeting held on March 24th. Do we have any discussion? Sorry, March 21st.
21st.
21st, sorry. It's March 21st, hang on. A special meeting was held. Yep, you were absent for that one, Mr. Obey. Watson showed up. Ferris was still absent until the end. Not remember you had work, you texted me that. And we went into closed session. Yep, and it reflected when Watson came in. Yes, and we opened session, yep. This is also active, but you don't,
Yes,
okay.
nothing.
I understand. Okay, how do you vote, Watson?
Aye.
Gahame?
Aye.
Ferris?
Aye.
Obey?
Nay.
Headwan?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution passes. 5 ayes, 1 nay, obeyed, and 1 absent. Do you leave a comment on your nay?
Nothing.
Thank you. All right, now we got to audience participation. This portion of the agenda is for citizens to address any questions or comments to the board. The board will listen, take comments and questions under advisement, and not respond at this time. The presiding officer will refer questions to the super for research and response. Persons wishing to address the board must complete an audience participation form and submit it to the board president before the meeting starts. Forms must be filled out completely. First on my list is Tony. Tony, come on up. Tony Coral, come on up.
I'd like to ask the board and the district leadership to consider how it communicates and what it communicates when it does communicate. What does the district communicate when leadership does not respond to a request to discuss paraprofessional salaries, as was raised at the last school board meeting? What does the district communicate when leadership does not respond to the Climate and Culture Committee's request to send out a survey based on the Surgeon General's task force on workplace wellness and mental health? And by the way, I have a copy of that PDF if any of you would like to see it. What does the district communicate when the board has not presented a student who threatened a teacher, and you do not receive a presentation of that student to expel? What does the district communicate when a board member tells people to go ahead and leave? How does the board and leadership actually intend to put action behind the teacher appreciation proclamations? How does the board and leadership intend to retain staff? It comes back to the very question I've asked before. Who are we? Who do we want to be? Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Daniel Toby? I'm sorry, what's the name?
Toboy.
Toboy, oh, come on up. All right, Daniel.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Daniel Toboy. I teach an awesome group of 6th graders at Dickinson West. My concern tonight is the extreme heat inside the DW building. So I have a thermometer in my classroom. Sometimes it reads up to 90 degrees. Our school's a brick oven. It's hot, and this time of year is kind of dreadful. My class and I kind of track the weather, and we look forward to the cooler days and not so much the hot days. Many of the 6th graders in our class, they don't feel comfortable wearing short sleeves, so they complain about the heat. They feel like it's their cultural, it's their religious, and their personal reasons to cover themselves. And so dressing for the weather is not really an option for them. The HVAC system that has been thought about is not really there yet. And so we need something now. So we're asking if you could consider a freestanding window air conditioning for our classroom. And if you could just write this down and prioritize room 317 and the other windows on the 3rd floor. We would appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, I think it's Aileen Seawood, or Aileen. Aileen Seawood. How do I say your first name? Hello.
I'm Eileen Seawood, and I'm a teacher at Dickinson West. My class is located in the portables right outside of the Dickinson West building. I'm asking the board, while you are making renovations to the different buildings, to please consider making learning and working conditions better for the students and staff at Dickinson West. Our students have to deal with animals getting stuck under the portables, which I have had to call maintenance several times. They give off a horrible smell in the classroom, and it's hard for the kids to concentrate because they're constantly fanning the smell away. It's also a shame that we have to leave the building and take care of our number 2 business inside the school, because when they use it in the portables, it gives off a horrible smell due to no fans inside of the restrooms. So please consider making better conditions for the students and staff at Dickinson West, because we think of our students as our own, and we treat them as our own. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I have Cynthia Twyman. Cynthia Twyman. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cynthia Twyman. I teach at Dickinson West, and I'm also a proud alumni of Hamtramck Public Schools. After I received my degree, I also received many job offers, but I knew Hamtramck was where I wanted to be. Not because I grew up here, but because of what Hamtramck always stood for, equality and to offer a hand to all cultures for success. And today I'm asking for that helping hand for Dickinson West. As many of you know, we are on the CSI list, and it's not because we haven't made tremendous achievement growth, but we're not showing enough growth with our African American students. We have to address their needs too, and one of their needs is a better learning environment. I was at West when we merged with Kosciuszko so many years ago, and it was supposed to be temporary. They said, oh, it'll be temporary. And now it's over a decade later, we're still there, and we feel like a divided school. So when we heard about the ESSER funds and the new plan for DW, we were all so excited. The kids excited, parents. And they're asking, okay, well, what's going on? And we don't have answers. And I'm not pointing fingers. I don't believe it's anybody's fault in particular, but I am holding on my hand and asking for your help. We need your help. We know we wouldn't go to a restaurant if it was full of odors and broken chairs. We wouldn't go to a doctor's office if the beds were collapsing and the doors wouldn't open. But our students don't want to come to schools where they're in raggedy portables, the ceiling tiles are falling down, toilet, forget the smell, my toilet clogs up every day. They had to crank my portable back up every summer because it's literally, it splits in half. I want better for my students. They deserve it. They deserve it. They deserve the opportunities that we all will want for our kids. So I'm just asking you today, I know we have great staff. Our paras go above and beyond. Our teachers go above and beyond. We all know we've always had a secretary that goes above and beyond. And now we have Joy Danforth, and she is an amazing principal. She is really leading us in the right direction. So we just need your help, and I know we can cross that finish line. Please help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Vanessa Gray.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vanessa Gray. I'm a proud lifelong resident of the city of Hamtramck. I grew up here. All of my children are graduates of Hamtramck High School, and I have worked in this district as administrative assistant for 32 years. I have watched this community grow and change many ways, and I have always worked to meet the needs of every child and family that we serve at Dickinson West. This is why it causes great sadness when I continue to see the needs of the students at DW not being met by our district. Over 10 years ago, we were moved from our building on Knipp to KMS building, and we were told that it was a 2-year temporary situation. What started out as a temporary has seemed to become permanent solution to the district financial problems. I watch daily as the entire Dickinson West staff work to educate and support our students, but we can only do so much with the little we are given. Students and families come in with so many needs. What started out as a temporary...
Is anyone watching the live stream? Keep going, I'll add 10 seconds.
Okay,
Hang on.
students and families come in with so many needs. We try our best to assist them, but the district level resources for the buildings are very limited, especially for our African American children and families. I am asking for the district to work with us and to provide an appropriate space and learning environment for all of our students to learn and grow. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Maria Mitchell Kipila? Maria Mitchell Kipla. Capilla. Got it.
Hello, thank you for listening to me. My name is Maria Mitchell Capilla, and I am a teacher and a parent. I teach 6th grade at Dickinson West, and my classroom is in the building on the 3rd floor. The classroom is always hot, always. Winter or summer, we sweat. It's difficult to get dressed in the morning based on the Michigan weather when the classroom is always tropical. It's difficult to focus in such a warm environment, one that often leaves us feeling faint, dizzy, and nauseous. I heard about the improvements planned for other schools, but didn't notice air conditioning for DW. I'm wondering why DW didn't make the list. As a parent, I would like to speak about the portables in the boardwalk. They're old, smelly, outdated, and unsafe. There has been talk of replacing them with new portables or a building, for what seems like years. But when I look on the list of planned improvements, I don't see the portables on the list. It feels like DW is on the bottom of the list most days, but to not even make the list, that doesn't make sense. When DW is a priority school with the state, DW should be getting more help than the other schools. Please remember DW when making your plans for improvements. Thank you.
Next up, Christina Gerstacker.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here to continue with accommodating, talking about our concerns for Dickinson West. I myself have been in the building, the same classroom that Mrs. Capella is in now when I taught 6th grade, and now I'm in a portable. We need help. We are on the CSI list. 1/3 of our population is Black. We need better learning conditions for all of our students. If we want them to show growth, we can't have students in classrooms passed out. The heat gets unbearable. It's not just now, it's when we come back in the fall too. If you were to go drive down Burger Street right now, if you look at the front of our building, the entire KMS side has window units. No one on the DW side does. We know we're working on an HVAC system. I have heard this for years. I understand the work is starting. The window units cannot cost that much to put in now. Just like Mr. Toboy said, culturally, a lot of our students do not show their skin. They are covered up, it is too hot. They need something else. They need something now. Imagine testing your students. Those MSTEP tests, the iReady tests, they take hours. Taking it in 80 degrees, that's not right for any of our kids. Please help us get something in place now so these students can be comfortable in their classrooms. In addition to that, the portable situation, we have to fix now. I'm out there myself. I get to school around 6:45 every morning. I am typically greeted by a rodent running out from underneath the portable. It is slippery on the boardwalk. And it's not just right when it rains, that moisture sticks in there. Students go down all the time. Our doors are barely shutting. Bathrooms, toilets, barely flushing. They are old. I believe somebody told me my portable is around 36 years old. They were bought used. I understand we need something. I don't think a pharmacy is the building to put us in, but something else has to be done. There are many buildings in this district. We have to figure it out for our kids. Lastly, we talked about title funds and computers. We have a parent liaison. 30% of her pay comes out of our title budget so she can service all of our kids. That is where some of our money is going. We need her for our entire school. We are one of the most diverse school in Hamtramck. So it can't just be servicing our EL kids, which is what she's also being paid out of. We have to get her so that she can service all of our children. So that is where some of that money is going. Please help us get these resources that we need. We appreciate it. We thank you. Thank you for your time.
Alexis Lambden.
My name is Alexis Lambden. I've been teaching at Dickinson West for 6 years. During this time, it has been clear that there is and always has been a lack of equity, staffing, and resources at our building. We are the only building with 1/3 of our students being Black and also a CSI school. Specifically, this means our Black students are not showing the growth they need to. We would like to see evidence of how money has been spent to support this subgroup of students. We have had to sacrifice part of our Title I budget to have Ms. Brown, our parent liaison, service all of our kids and their families. 30% of her pay is out of the title budget. We are the most diverse building, and all students deserve to have the support of a parent liaison. Without this sacrifice from our Title I budget, more than 1/3 of our students and their families would not be able to receive her assistance. And now, we may not even be able to provide these children with summer school opportunities because of delayed plans for construction to our building. This project was supposed to be after school and on weekends. Our playground was unable to be used for 2 weeks because of safety concerns due to the construction. Elementary students need space and time to play. Not only do they need space to play, but space to learn. We are bursting at the seams. Our special ed students are learning in an old locker room. Adult ed is taking up a room here in our building that could be used for other things. We need a plan. Sharing a campus with KMS was supposed to be temporary, and we need a better option. Placing us in a building not designed to house students that was previously a pharmacy and includes a squatter is not a viable option for student success either. Plus, taking these students away from their home school, which many of them is within walking distance, is going to increase our issues with truancy. And what about the ESSER funds? When it comes to ESSER funds, any renovations should have been done any renovations that should have been done have a due date of 2024. These projects should have been underway a long time ago, yet here we are with disrupted classroom environments due to the delay of construction. When ESSER funds were first being distributed, an extension to KMS was proposed. However, it is also my understanding that funds were spent faster than planned. It is now my understanding that that proposal was just that, nothing more than a proposal, and leaving us feeling neglected again. Yet again, Dickinson West has been left behind to fail. What is being done to help our students? What's being done to help our Black students? We just want to have equitable support to promote the success of all of our students.
Thank you. Joy Danforth.
Joy.
Joy Danforth.
Greetings, members of the Hamtramck Public School educational community. I speak on behalf of Dickinson West Elementary, where I serve proudly as the principal. I have great concerns about the lack of equity that runs as an undercurrent to the surface issues throughout HPS. It is with a heavy heart that I sit before you as the first advocate for my students, families, staff, and others to share some of our needs. Thank you. DW being placed on the CSI list this school year came as no surprise to me. Over 6 years ago, long before I was principal and before some of you were board members, DW was identified as a priority school, citing the lack of targeted interventions for every subgroup. Now here we are in 22-23 school year, labeled as a high priority CSI school for that very same reason. In 2019, I walked into this position with my eyes wide open. I knew we were on the priority list and I accepted it. As a forever member of the community of Hamtramck, I was also aware of the blatant and gross marginalization of African American community, as I and generations before me have experienced this firsthand. Therefore, it never shocks me when our students are overlooked. However, I am always hurt that a community as diverse as Hamtramck continues to boldly turn a blind eye to the issues that the most diverse elementary school in this district face. It is with that same measure of boldness that I will advocate for our students, as they have gone underserved, ignored, and purposely tracked for far too long. I will, from this point, request from central office staff and the board plans be shared of how we have worked to serve and support our Black students in this district. I will start by requesting a financial report to show the dollars that have been intentionally earmarked to address the needs of this subgroup for the past 6 years. Have there been any wraparound services used to assess and address the needs of the Black community in the last 6 years or even the last decade? I would also like to know what data was used to determine not moving forward with an assistant principal, as well as what data was used to determine the need of KMS having one. When comparing the data between buildings, here are known points of data. Pupil count for KMS, approximately 324 students. Pupil count for DW, approximately 442. Staff count for KMS, instructional staff, 24. Staff count instructionally for DW, 44. Far above instructional concerns, I want to address the environmental and safety challenges that our students face daily with transitioning in and out of downgraded portables that were used when we purchased them over 12 years ago. The student culture and building challenges that we face could have been addressed and resolved
30 seconds.
with the use of ESSER 3 funds, but instead our projects were not other projects were prioritized. I leave you with these many questions, but one request, that we are invited to the table to give input when creating plans, as we have been left out of the loop for far too long. As my colleague Anthony Kiner stated at our last meeting, if we don't fix DW, we don't fix our district. I hope this request does not fall on deaf ears, but is sincerely considered that, and with a swift response, if provided by this district, because we are running out of time.
Time. All right, on time. Thank you. Aaron Brock. Aaron Brock.
That's your cue music.
Go.
Hello. Hello, I'm Aaron Brock. Business owner in Hamtramck. I stayed here the majority of my life. Went to all the schools in Hamtramck, alumni. My daughter right now, she goes to Dickinson West. Looking at her, and I fear for the safety of her in those portables. Looking at what would happen if something was to go on. You know, with a school on it and being in lockdown or any of those issues coming up, what would happen to my daughter in those portables? Even with my daughter being in those portables, I would love her to have the full experience of school. Being in a building, you know, those portables where they sit right now, like I said, I went to all the Hamtramck schools. Those portables where they sit, we played there. Where are they playing now? You know, they have a small space just to the right of the portables, just to, you know, that's really not adequate for the amount of students that's playing on the playground. As I said, I fear for the safety of my child, and I want to ask, what can we do to fix it? Where do we go from here?
Next up, we have additional board discussion. We can go over 10 minutes. It sounds like we might have a lot to talk about. Context for the folks who don't understand. CSI stands for Comprehensive Support and Improvement School. These schools are, you get that label from the state if your school is among the lowest performing 5% statewide, since it's elementary school, or you get that status if you're a high school with a graduation rate of 67% or less. So that is what that stands for.
I'd like to start off by saying a couple things. So, I've been against the portables for many, many years, and I've spoke about it and vocalized it in many meetings. We did have a plan with Partners in Architect to build a building there, and I would like Ms. Ahmed to share that information with the leadership at DW on what happened and why it was delayed and what the cost difference is now, because they deserve to get the whole picture. I'd like to also say I want to appreciate and thank the teacher and staff and faculty members that came today to speak in support of the students and trying to get things addressed for our students. You know, if we don't hear it from you, a lot of times it's the first time we're hearing it. You know, we're not in the loop and we're not, you know, we don't know day-to-day activities. So a lot of times when you guys are here to speak and advocate for the students, that's when the board hears it for the first time. So thank you for coming and advocating for your students. That's what, you know, teaching and is all about.
Thank you, Mr. Headline. So,
Would you like me to talk now?
Yeah,
in a
please?
second. So the board did discuss at our last study session concerns for major projects, and one of the ones we did actually discuss was DW, and I think the majority, and you all can speak now, hold your peace, was under even the suggestion of new portables. It's supposed to be a sturdy structure, and I know that ESSER funds are limited, it can't be a new project, but there definitely could be an extension. And some of these concerns,
I don't think another set of portables would be the answer.
that's the thing, but that was one of the suggestions from
Right.
PIA, and I understand that we can look at other firms as well, but some of these concerns with the, I don't even wanna visualize this, but the idea that your portable is literally sinking in from the heat and having to stretch it out is insane. Yeah, it's unsafe at all. So I appreciate the parents for coming out and bringing that to our concern. We are discussing it, it's just, we bring it up to their attention, and ESSER funds do have deadlines, and so, not making excuses, just clarifying for folks who didn't attend the last meeting. Go ahead, Mr. Ray.
I'm sorry. Is this added to it, or?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's whenever.
But I wanted to, as a stakeholder and also as the leader of this, to be included in the discussion, what we need to do, and to decide how their buildings want it to be. So
Yeah.
if they can be included in these discussions in the plan, it will be great for them, because they are directly involved.
Yeah, and so, that happens at their level, so absolutely they should have insight on that. It's just, I wanna make it clear for the board that at our next regular meeting, we're gonna be voting on these capital projects. So the urgency around putting emphasis or priority on certain buildings, we would have to address now, so Ms. Lyman has enough time with Rich and whoever we partner with to put these projects out. And it sounds like DW is, it's like, almost like Holbrook is in the sense that it's a middle child.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back to many years, and I've vocalized how first of all, safety with the portables, like,
Absolutely.
God forbid, if there was a shooting, a mass shooting, those are not safe. First of all, you know, they're not secure as a brick building. Number one, they don't have doors that are, you know, able to at least prevent somebody from entering, you know, as quick as they can. They're like little boxes, you know, just sitting there rotten.
Yeah.
And
I think they need
for the
to-
longest, but I'd like Ms. Ahmed to speak on what the plans were for when we were proposing to build a new addition and what happened. To explain that to everybody.
I think that's fine to explain, but I think we need to move forward and do something about it.
Yeah, right.
So we did bring this to your awareness at the last meeting. Obviously, the partners and architect representative was unprofessional and stormed off, but we do need updates on making DW a priority with ESSER funds. I think especially with the quick turnaround, the solution should not be let's just buy products and store them. It should be we can make this addition by 2024 because it should be feasible, again, through one avenue or another. That's kind of the concern here.
So initially, we went for a bond in 2020. And the whole idea behind that bond, which did not pass unfortunately, was to construct a building, a 3-floor building for DW that would be connected to KMS. Unfortunately, the bond did not pass. So we were gifted with the ESSER funds, and it was pretty much equivalent to the amount that we went out for the bond. And it was exciting because, as you all know, my first goal as a superintendent in 2019 was to address the inequities because there was a clear equity gap, and it was just glaring at everyone. And I could not understand, and I could not accept how can we make a temporary situation permanent. The very first thing that we did in the infrastructural walks and conversations was to make sure that we updated the portables and made them as best as possible for the students and the staff to teach in. Unfortunately, after hearing from everyone, there's still issues, and we will address them accordingly. Going back, using the ESSER funds, we used the same plans for the bond to focus and close the equity gap. And unfortunately, I was on leave. There was inactivity during the time that I was on leave. No one worked on the projects. We lost 18 or maybe even over more than $18 million. Upon my return, the very first thing I said, DW, where are we with this? Where are we with the capital projects? I started to work with our partners and moved the process as fast as we could. And that's when I was disheartened with the news. And it's still not good enough. And I do want you to know, since day one, I am speaking with legislators. I am addressing the inequities, not only for our school, but the state of Michigan, because we are the one of 12 states that does not receive capital projects, funding for capital projects. So this is a true inequity gap. And I met with partners in architecture, Mrs. Lynham and Rich joined me, and we brought this yet again and said we still have to address the needs of DW. So we're looking at 2 potential plans. I would be more than happy to share them with the team as soon as I get them and get your input, because you're valued and your input is important. Even if we have to go and dip in the general funds, we want to make it happen. The biggest challenge that I will tell you now that we are facing is when we are working to either construct a structure for the students, we have to see where the 10 classrooms will be housed, because learning still has to continue. So that's our biggest challenge, but I will definitely include all of you in the conversation. I think when we come together, we will do wonders, as we have done with other projects. So thank you all for, yet again coming and addressing and putting urgency to this, because it's important and it should have been addressed decades ago.
Yes.
I think if the kids' safety is in line, I think it's best to go virtual, even if we have to, get things moving.
I was gonna say, I think, given the severity of DW and the portables, I think the staff and students are willing to be flexible and go to other elementary schools if you wanna space out those 10 classrooms to different buildings temporarily, if it guarantees that they come back to an actual functioning building. Joy looks like she's on board as a DW principal. So,
Well, we're gonna put our heads together and figure this one out.
so that's the thing. Yeah, but that's the thing. It sounds like and I'll let you speak, it sounds like they're willing to temporarily
Okay,
do
We'll
some
make it
moving
happen.
around. And they'll work with you as long as they get a permanent structure, because dead animals under the, it's disgusting. Mr.
not
Ferris?
only the dead animals, but,
Even the live ones that run out in the morning.
putting students in a gated area,
Sets a precedence about their environment,
that's just not right whatsoever.
I've also had mentioned a couple of years ago, as an idea, a thought, we all know that the detention facility has closed now.
They already built that, somebody bought it.
Somebody already bought
I
it?
think
Well,
so, yeah.
I made the recommendation that we purchase that and make that the new high school, and we'll have, the renovations, all the money would cost us to put into building a new structure. We could have renovated that step by step, and that could have been the new hub for just the community in general. With the community center, that was an idea that was, nothing ever came about it, but there was, it just,
There's
things gotta
options,
change,
yeah.
and we keep letting the options that we had slip away. Well, there's no excuses for that, and it's, at the end of the day, I'd like to be included in the conversation with, DW staff and yourself as well, if that's okay. Just so we can see where this is, and you guys are more than welcome to join our,
But no more than 4.
right,
We'll
no
be
more
at the
than
meeting.
4.
Mr. Ferris, go ahead.
I just wanted to say happy Teachers Appreciation Week to the
Thank you.
And I know we're waiting on the HVAC. Is it like something we can get, like maybe portable? air
Based on
conditioning?
the recommendation for the AC
Yeah.
units, can we buy
Especially for
some?
Room
Yeah.
317.
Mr. Ferris pays attention. Yeah, actually, could that be a solution?
I will see what the buildings and grounds, and again, it's an equity piece, because we can't do one thing for one person and not everyone else, so. In line of the communication and what we're talking about when it comes to equity, just be mindful about that. We'll definitely look into, high priority areas. If the temperature reads a certain temperature in one wing or in one room and it's just not habitable, we will take that into consideration. So we'll look at this case by case.
I actually have a 14,000 BTU AC unit that's brand new at my house. If you guys want it for your room, you're more than welcome to come pick it up.
What's a BTU?
It's like for 600 or 800 square feet, brand new. I have never used it. It's all yours if you want it. It just needs somebody to install it at the window.
Yes, Ms. Ahmed, go ahead.
So I was actually hoping that Ms. Horn would be here and Mr. Preston, and then just after their presentation, I was just gonna kick it off and just, thank everyone regarding and recognizing National Teachers Appreciation Week. So it is a time for us to celebrate and honor the tireless efforts of our educators. I want to take this opportunity today to express my deepest gratitude and admiration for the exceptional work that our dedicated teachers do each and every day. Our teachers are the backbone of our educational system, and we owe them a debt of gratitude for the incredible work that they do to educate, inspire, and shape our students. They create a safe and engaging environment for learning, often going above and beyond to ensure that our students have everything they need to succeed. I have seen teachers purchase coats, shoes, school supplies, endless things, and that is to be noted. Our teachers are not just educators, as we all know, they are also mentors, role models, and advocates for our students, as you could see today. They spend countless hours preparing lessons, grading papers, providing feedback, and offering support and guidance for their students. Our teachers also often spend their own time and resources, again, to purchase classroom materials and supplies, apply for grants. Jessica Madden, wow, all these grants that we have received just for and I think she's doing it at her own time. And creating exciting learning experiences that enhance our students' education. Their dedication and commitment to our students are truly worth their weight in gold.
Thank you. Happy Teachers
So during the National Teachers Appreciation Week, let us take a moment to thank our teachers for all that they do. Let us honor and respect their dedication, hard work, and unwavering commitment to our students' success. Thank you to all of our teachers for your exceptional work and tireless efforts. You are truly appreciated and valued. I am proud to have always supported teachers and will continue to always support teachers. We had an incredible professional development last month, and this month we're looking forward to another great conference-style professional development, and that was due to the contribution of our teachers. The teachers that were part of the professional development committee, can you please stand up to be recognized?
Nobody's here? Oh. Why are you being shy? Thank you for all the work you do.
I have to commend our special service to teachers, because they are also going above and beyond to support and do additional duties, additional work to get the reads done, get other work that needs to be done. The district has honored them by giving them a half day on a monthly basis because of the additional duties, but I think they too deserve a special recognition as well.
Thank you. So I want to get back to, you just reminded Mr. Ferris and Ms. Watson. Joanne did send us a calendar invite for commencement. Please RSVP, yes or no, doesn't matter, like, you're fine to go yes or no either way. She just needs to be informed so that they can plan for the stage and things like that. As I understand it, everyone's already had their gown ordered, their hoods ordered, you're good to go. Just give her the yay or nay so she can plan, because she's like me, we like things earlier rather than later. So there's that. Perfect. And tomorrow is the first prom. I don't know if Princess Prom happened yet, I could be wrong. To our high school and Horizon students, have a wonderful time at prom. Please be safe, rock out with your friends, and be responsible. So there's that. Is there anything else?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have a lot of questions. I wanted to bring it up.
Yes.
As we're sitting as a board and we're hearing our schools, one of the schools thinking that we are not looking for them, it's really sadness, you know. And we're here. We need communication.
Can you take a mic from one of them? I'm sorry.
We need to have communication with the stakeholder and to have a plan for all district. The questions I have is regarding how many lawsuits we have that our insurance is handling for our district.
Yep.
And who's communicate with these lawsuits? Because I understand there is a lawsuit against the board by our superintendent, and we don't know who's handling it, and that keep us in the dark. We don't know what's going on. What's the status of our insurance with all these lawsuits? I need some answer. If you can have, if you can answer me, because the public will need to know. And do we have the auditor that does our audit?
The auditor, yeah.
And who can answer these questions?
Okay.
Madam President.
So I can start with the lawsuit updates. So pending litigation, the public does not have a right to know until it's over, just for clarity. So that's why we have those sessions closed.
Okay.
And I'd be happy to follow up with our insurer to give us a concise summary of what's going on. We know when there's updates. And like many things in the legal system, it just takes a while. But I wrote it down that you would like updates on how many existing lawsuits happen. And as suing the school board is, we could just, I don't want to say anything that shouldn't be said outside of closed sessions, excuse me if I'm being a little cryptic.
Can the board be included in the discussions and know what's going on? Because Nothing has been,
Nothing has been done because nothing has happened, and we did have a closed session, you missed it unfortunately, but we did discuss things with Mr. Butler,
okay?
and we did have those updates. I'm just, again, being mindful that there are certain things that are private until they become public. It's just a waiting game, you know? I mean, we've had lawsuits since, I think I started on the board, and they're still pending. You understand? Like, some things just take a while. So there's that, and I can get the update from our insurer, just to give you the full list of who is suing. That
Okay.
can be given to you as a board member. Again, the rest of the, I think everyone understands this, but there is a confidentiality
We know that.
with those things. Okay.
We need that.
Secondly-
Just as a board, we need to be included
Yeah,
and
there-
all updated and
There just
all
hasn't
this-
been any update, it's just one of those things where it's just like, there hasn't been an update to share, but when there are, we absolutely will be looped in. I don't think I don't wanna assume ill of our law firm, whether directly that is who we hire or our insurer. I think they have our best intention at heart, and when the board is to have this information, they present it. I don't think we've had an issue in the past with that, and I'm hoping there isn't an issue now.
Yeah, but my question was, you know, there's a conflict of interest of superintendent to handle any lawsuits that against the board. And as a board member, we need to know who's handling this matter.
You were informed of that
I
earlier.
was not informed on
You
that.
were at that meeting, Mr. Obaid. I would ask you to go back. Again, we can't discuss closed session matters in public.
I'm not
It is.
discussion.
I'll talk to you one-on-one, but
Okay.
I'll remind
Yeah,
you.
please,
Thank you.
please.
You were there.
Okay, and then regarding about the other
Auditor.
company, yes.
What's the question?
Did we have the other report, or when we gonna have to do?
I believe those come out in September, Ms. Lyman, refresh my memory. They don't come out this time. I think they come out a little closer to the start of the new academic year, correct?
So the audit season usually starts in June. The
In June,
auditors
yeah.
usually contact us for, to come out and do preliminary field work
Yep.
in June, and then they come back for the full audit in September.
Oh, I got it right. Yeah.
Have they started the work yet?
June hasn't.
June, so they started June, you said?
We have not engaged Yo and Yo to do the audit. I was
Why is that?
informed that the board was planning to use a different firm.
Oh,
So we
I
have
don't know
no
about that.
schedule as of right now.
Yes.
so is that something we're putting out to bid?
I don't think it's a bid. I think that the board can discuss it, but we can absolutely have that discussion now. If there's concerns with Yao and Yao.
Yeah,
I'd
but
be-
Madam President.
Yes.
She just said that the board says we have to look for another audit. I was not included on this. As a board member, who made this decision?
Well, they haven't reached out to any auditor or have reached out to Yao and Yao. It's not
But
June.
who has given the
But that's what I'm saying.
administration not to? My question is, we're not being included as a stakeholder on the plans of our district, and there is decision made by few peoples, not the whole board.
Right.
That's what my concern is.
Okay.
We should, as a whole board, communicate with each other and decide, and we know what's the plan. It just surprised me now that the board have decided to look for another firm without the rest of the board knowing that.
We spoke about it.
Wait, sorry, can I,
last-
sorry, someone turned off their mic. I want to be careful in saying that the board made a decision without the board being informed. The board can make a decision in public meetings. That is where all of formal board decisions happen, okay? Suggestions or discussions for other things can happen with the administrators. However, that is not a board decision. The board gets the audit report. The board has never traditionally made a decision to pick the auditor. We have not done that in the 5 years that I've been on the board, and I do not think y'all have picked your auditor prior to me getting on the board. So we don't actually pick the auditor. What we get, I don't know where the feedback's coming from. We don't pick our auditor, we get an audit report. That is for the board's awareness, and then the board reviews the audit report. So none of that nothing is happening below water. As a collective, as the 6 of us minus Hall, 7 of us, we make board decisions in public settings. I just want to make sure we're not using language like that. That's not accurate. Because the board makes decisions in open meetings.
Well, I'm trying to get clarification here.
So we spoke, I don't know if you remember, I think a couple times last year about the possibility of getting a new firm
specifically because when I was the board president and I was contacted by Yao and Yao,
Yeah.
they didn't address any of my questions in the appropriate manner. When they questioned if I had any concerns with the district's finances, and I brought those
Okay.
concerns up, none of them were addressed directly to us. They never sent us a letter of intent or anything, a declaration or anything saying that they're about to start the audit, which is something that's required. Not once did they've done that in the past few years. So yes, I have verbalized, other board members have verbalized that we should look at our options of getting a new audit firm, and that's where that conversation has happened in
But
public
that's
setting.
still different than a board vote. We're
Correct.
all on the same
I
page.
just want-
Yeah, but,
Okay,
you
thank
know,
you.
I wish that we can discuss these.
We can
together
absolutely have that
before we
discussion.
move on and
Yeah, but-
you know, ordering things.
We haven't ordered anything. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
what I'm saying, whatever you wanted to call it, is just respect each other and understand, not be surprised.
Absolutely. I can understand that, but I just wanted to get clarity on, no board decisions are being made outside of a public meeting. That's,
Right.
Thank you.
okay,
So
thank
we
you.
don't have a form now
A form, what, I'm sorry.
to do the audit?
A firm, oh, a firm, I'm sorry.
Whatever,
firm.
I'm sorry.
No, that happens between, they pick the firm and then they tell us about it. Remember, we're up here, so once we get that information, we get it from who they pick as a firm.
Okay, but if there is nothing happening, is our responsibility to ask for?
No, okay,
Our
we're,
responsibility to ask for reports.
as a board, we can,
Yes,
absolutely, so
we
you're
can.
there,
Yes,
we're doing this now.
So
Yes.
we're asking the question, where are we at for being prepared for the undertaking of this year's audit?
That's a lovely question.
Yes.
Mr. Hamid, can you get us
Thank
that
you for
information?
putting that question.
I think Mrs. Lyman would be better at responding.
If you're not ready tonight, you can give us an
Yeah.
answer when you're ready. I don't want to put you on the spot. That's all.
I was instructed in March to not engage Yo and Yo to do the audit.
Okay,
So as of right now,
Not by
there's
the
no one
board.
scheduled to do the audit.
that's the thing, not by the
Is
board.
is that March this year?
Okay.
Is that,
So, Ms. Lyman, you're going to ensure that you will reach out to an auditor by June so we can start the formal process?
I will reach out to them, I can't guarantee.
That's fine, but as long as it's in your wheelhouse.
Yes, I will
Okay.
reach out to them.
That is fine, okay. Are we on the same page, Mr. Obey?
yes.
Thank you. Any additional board discussion?
Also, I spoke about last time about the incident that happened in the high school. I would love to have to get an investigation report. It's called the Title IX investigation of that student.
Is the board privy to that, or do you have to individually FOIA it?
I'm asking the board.
I don't know the answer, so if you can follow up with Ms. Ahmed about that,
Okay.
that's for you. And if it's a board, if the board can get that information, great. If you have to FOIA it, just fill out the form.
Why the board can't get any information?
I'm not sure if it's about a student, I think they have rights, so I'm just being careful. Anything else?
No, nothing for now.
Thank you, Mr. Wade. Anyone else?
No, I was just shocked about Dickinson West.
I'm not,
It's
those
been
portables
going
were
on for
disgusting.
years, bro.
They were disgusting when they first
When
presented
I,
to us.
when I
Yeah.
first entered in, I think that was the first year, it was already garbage.
It was, there was flooding in those when we
Not
first.
just flooding, it was always a problem. You can't use the
Yeah.
bathroom in there appropriately without everybody listening to your business. You know, you have to walk outside of the school, you know, which is also not a safe thing to get into the school and back out into the portables. And then a
Yep.
lot of times you're doing that by yourself as a, you know, 6th, 7th, 8th grade female, male student without supervision, but just a hall pass, like that's gonna keep you safe.
Right, so Ms. Ahmed, if you can make that a priority and get us an update for our CAL, we'd like to see what the options are for DW, specifically around the construction of their buildings. I understand that getting on a CSI list, there are processes and there's litigation. Update us as that continuously happens, as the principal of DW stated. She is not gonna start asking questions, so information's there. Anything else before we adjourn?
No.
Alright, Resolution 16 adjournment, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Who'd I hear?
Second.
Sorry, I heard Watson second, but who said first?
I said.
Head one, thank you. Motion by Head one, seconded by Watson, resolved that the regular meeting be adjourned at 7:29 PM. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, 6 ayes, 1 absent, everyone. Mr. Obey, call off.
And just so everybody knows, there's 4, and it was in the drive.
took the email and tried, there's 4 chaperones going on the field trip. Yeah, and